sitting out like we have for the next hour getting this going. So we finna get it crack-a-lacking. It's going on. Give me that intro, man. Thank you, Snoop, for that intro. It's live. Why we can't hear it? Last week we heard it. They do different things every week. We do different people. I don't know. What's going on there? We got the intro going?
It's bumping on YouTube right now.
Huh?
It's playing on YouTube.
Okay. Give me another try. Y'all call somebody now, let them know we live around here today, and it's going down. And also go to Bishop and Friends, one on the YouTube channel.
It's just that every time he lowers his head down,
We got guests tonight, we got
cutting his head off.
James
he
Brown
ain't
in the house,
standing
we got the comedian in the house, we got Two-Tone, I did the video, we got the song with Bishop, we got Brian in the house, he's a writer, director, and also we got Deb in the house, she's a writer, and she's an author also. So we got a lineup tonight, we got a great show going, and once we get it cracking, y'all ain't gonna want us to stop. But just stick and stay on with it. We ready to go live, man? All right, let's give it up for Bishop and Friends. Welcome on. Let's go live around here. Let me get fired up so we can get it crack-a-lacking. And this is what we call Bishop and Friends. I'm sure y'all out there can see the whole round table around here in this air, you did. Let me see. I don't know if they can catch it later on the end though, but we sure got 500. He's from Chicago in the house.
Live.
Okay, we got Slim in the house. Slim got the book out and he got the 10 Pimp Commandments, and it's going on, you did. Hold it up there, Slim, so they can see that. You did YouTube crack-a-lacking there. And my co-host for the day, China Doll, she's in the house. If y'all trying to be honey of the week, trying to get on the show, go to I Am China Doll and get booked for this live podcast, you did. And also right here to my right, a fellow Chicago. I'm telling you, the Chicagoans is taking over California, man. I'm talking about they moving out here by the road, man. And I'm telling you, this guy's a writer and a director. He got movies out. Ryan, how you doing?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
Oh man, it's blessed. It's blessed to have. Here's another Chicago. This is Dale. She's also a publisher, a writer, man, and also the author of the book. Bishop Don Magic from Pimp Stick to Pulpit. Y'all get that book. You did right there on Brandon Stone.
Brandon Stone Incorporated.
Brandon Stone, y'all can get that book. So, okay, I think I'll start. Oh, I forgot my man Marv. He on his phone doing something else. But he on that. I guess they can see him in the screen, can't they, Bob? They see him? All right, these Bishop and Friends. So I'm going to start at Deb, you know what I mean? Because, you know, Deb, she did the reprint of My Life Story. Let me see that book there. Maybe I can show it to him here. She did the reprint of My Life Story. Y'all can order this book, man. It's great reading. The New York bestseller. Man, I'm telling you, this the real deal by Holyfield. It's live around here, man. I'm telling it like it is, not like it was. I'm talking about blood, sweat, and tears, and sometimes Pimp do cry. But I'm telling you, there's some real game jumping in this book. You can't lose with the stuff I use. And I'm telling you, it's live right here. So, Dad, tell us something about this, how you become a real writer, also to Chicago.
Well, Don, you know, I've been writing for quite some time, and I started in Chicago 10 years ago. I moved out here. So I started writing. I came out with one book, so I ended up, at this point, I'm a 5-time author. I'm an autism advocate, which is one of the things I'm most proud about. I've done screenplays and publishing. Publishing has been my forte. I had the pleasure of redoing your book in 2018, and when I say people are ordering this book from all over the world, I mean literally all over the world, and out the country as well. It's been a great sale. It's a great story, and if you want to learn something, there's a lot. It's right here in this book. We did book signings when we were able to get out before this pandemic in Vegas, LA, Chicago. It's been wonderful, so we're going to keep moving forward with it and hope for the best. We'll be seeing this on screen, big screen, real soon.
Yes, indeed.
Look forward. It's coming.
Yeah, looking forward. So, Deb, you got a great story. You know, your first book was like a testament of yourself, wasn't it?
Yeah, Divine Order, my
What that
first book.
about what autism
So
was?
that was my second book, The Autism Trapped in the World of Silence, and my living with the disorder. And just trying to inspire and encourage parents, because people of our color especially, and Hispanics, we underrepresented in knowing the signs of autism, how to get the resources available. But 1 out of 59 children are being diagnosed at this present time, so it's gonna somehow band up in your doorstep where you know somebody that's dealing with this disorder. And I like to kind of give people information, kind of keep them encouraged, because all you can see is the doom, news and everything is doom.
Well, I heard about the autism thing, and it's really very frightening. And you know, I heard some on the news how a kid had disappeared, and then it came up dead and different things like that. You experienced with an autism child or anything like that? I mean, you got experience from
Oh
it?
yeah, my son he's 29, so I have 25 years of experience. He was diagnosed at 4, and my personal memoir is basically a how-to, do's and don'ts. The marriage, we separated, so it's a lot of pressure. And like I said, the resources are not available to us like they should be, and we sometimes fall behind in it. And we get our children diagnosed too late. And the only way to deal with that disorder is early detection. So when we're behind, you actually are behind. So.
Wow, it's amazing. It's such a thing that, you know, it's like when you're dealing with autistic child, it's like working with 3 kids in one. They say they have different personalities, different mood swings. My daughter got a son like that, and he just clings to his mama. You know, it's like he hold on to her for dear life. It don't be nothing, but he just feels so safe up under the same light. You know what I mean? He's big. He's a teenager now and everything. You know, I mean, just like you know, it's some extra love that a mother has to put in order to deal with that situation.
Yeah, a lot of patience, because that's the stories we hear on the news. The people didn't have the patience, and children are, you know, being harmed because of that, and they can't help it. I mean, it's just the way it is. So 1 out of 59 children, once again, that's a high number, and it's somebody's gonna know somebody that knows somebody with autism, because the numbers are going up, they're not going down.
Well, what are some of the signs? Like, how can you detect as a parent?
Well, some of the signs are, like with my son, they were saying it was a developmental delay because they wasn't informed. But, you know, boys are being affected 5 times as more. A lot of that is affected with the jaundice, when they have to stay in the hospital under the light. The infections is one of them. And sometimes just the, you know, the contact, when you're seeing your child not able to look at you and have contact eye to eye, those are some things that should be of concern, to have at least your child looked at and not being denied. You know?
Is it anything you do that make that, I mean, in the birth, is it some kind of defect, anything you do, or it just can happen to anybody, or what?
Well, you know, us dealing with autism, we try not to get caught up in the situation of the immunization shots of things that have occurred, because there's no cure. And anytime you can't find a cure for something, there's some things that should be addressed, because they don't know. They have no idea.
How it take place, how it happened, and it happened to just anybody.
Yeah.
Race, black, white, green, red, or whatever.
Right, no color attached at all. But
How
it
was
will-
the research on it? How was the research for it?
Well, actually, like I said, in the 90s it was a little uncommon as I was coming up, and like I said, it wasn't able to detect it, but what I'm finding out is that since my son and up to now, some of the shots have changed. Thermal shots, a lot of the mercury has been taken out of the shots, so, you know, those are very interesting facts, but people don't want to address that issue because it opens up a whole different
Can of worms.
Yeah, I do have a
So they sort of keep it a minimum of talk and information, understanding everything like, yeah, you know what I mean? But that is amazing, and then the strength that you put into it, you know, would you say that gave you the desire to want to write, to become a publisher, a writer?
I would say it did because it gave me a strength that I didn't know I had, because you have to find, dig in depth of your struggle to find the strength.
Well, see, that's the thing that I say, and everything is something in there. I had something I was gonna post that saying, every trial that you get from God is a purpose in it.
Yeah. That's
You know what I mean? Though it had to be the autism, but it brought out something in you that you didn't know you had.
Absolutely. No test is arbitrary. You know what I mean? I think that every test that we get from God, you know what I mean, for everything that stumbling block that we come across, it's not arbitrary. It has a purpose, you know what I mean? And we just have to see what that purpose is, you know, and not feel bad about it. I'll tell you, man, look at a lot of the memes he writes, that he posts, he puts some good truth up there and it helps me, you know, every day. Some spiritual navigation.
So it's an amazing journey then for you.
It's an incredible journey. What's even better, I'm able to share with others that's, you know, kind of just learning about it or don't know about it. And my 25 years of experience allowed me to be able to and have people say, hey, look at this and try your diet, change the diet, because diet is still key. We are what we eat, so that's still key. And learning what I know about it now, I could have done some things different.
That is amazing.
Hey, so let me ask you, so does like vaccinations have or something to do with a lot of the kids, you know, vaccines, inoculations and stuff like that have a lot to do with autism? Is that promoted or whatever like that?
Well, it's been a theory that hasn't
An
been
issue.
proven, and it hasn't been proven because, like I said, it's dealing with
The
the
government.
government, so it hasn't been saying this is linked to it.
But it's definitely a theory pointing in that direction. A lot of people are running from that
Exactly.
because I have a granddaughter that's autistic, and you know she's doing better now. Yeah, I got a granddaughter. You were just saying like it's more prevalent in boys.
Yes, 5 times more. The girls are gonna kind of balance out and kind of
Yeah,
go out
yeah,
and
and
still
just
that
have my
same
granddaughter.
maturity level. They're gonna kind of be able to. You might not even can tell the autistic young lady that she is.
Yeah, because it took a little while.
Boys are a little bit more delayed.
Aggressive.
So, yeah, so you will see it more, and then they 5 times is more getting diagnosed. So.
Oh,
Do you think the food, because what they told us was the food, when we went and took the meat out, stopped eating the candy, and that was one day. Another day, you started to flush it, and the water started to come, started to the skin go clear like your face. A lot of the mothers and the people that have children in their city got a bright light in his face. And instead of saying, you don't get tired of going out. A lot of people do because they eat before the kids.
Right.
And they can't take care of it, they don't understand, that's a counterbalance. And they're helping them, they're watching them, and they doing it in both times.
Wow, that is amazing. Hey, listen, I got a few topics I didn't get a chance to get it out before we get to Ryan also. Let me see, because this is very important because, what is the governor, who is it? Newsom. I like Newsom. Y'all vote for him, I like him. Yeah, he was for marijuana, he's for the people. Yeah, right now, he's doing clemency for murder.
Right.
They letting some murders out, you know?
And that's great. I always applaud that.
It's amazing, you know, but like I said, everybody in jail ain't guilty. Some of these guys not guilty, they're guilty out.
Even so, some of them are, it's just before the sentencing guidelines that they impose on blacks and browns as opposed to whites. You know, I get 15 years to get this cat too.
Okay, y'all, hold on. Let me finish my topic. Okay, and one more thing, this is very important because this is one of the pandemic reasons. The COVID, CVS is giving out COVID testing.
Free testing.
Free COVID testing. You know, Biden then jumped in and he said by May, every person in the world will be able to get tested or get a shot or whatever they got going on. You did. So, you know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing. CVS all over the world. So go and get tested, you know what I mean? And go get the shot if you want it.
If they want.
You did. Do your thing. Do what you did. Yeah, you did. And also, want to speak on this, you know what I mean? Here in California anyway, people care more about their dogs than they do humans. So here, Lady Gaga dog was kidnapped and the walker was shot. And I think it's what is it, a $2 million reward or something?
Half of me.
Woo, woo, woo. Now you ain't gonna do that for him and can't find some else now. You tell me what I'm telling you, man, the world is, I'm telling you, I used to love dogs and had dogs and everything, but I'm not putting no dog over no human. I don't care. Man, y'all done flipped the script and gone crazy, man. Like, you can love your dog, but not more than you do your brother and sister, man. What's happening? She got a 500,000 bounty on the little doggy. Well, I don't know, man. It's got one thing about it is, there's gonna be a lot of talk to get that 500,000. Where you find it, man? Where you be under there? Lie detector test, everything. So you better be on the real when you go down there after that money. And take that dog, huh?
They gonna turn
Don't
themselves
forget they
in
shut
for
the
that
dog off.
500.
Man,
I'm about to
yeah.
shut the dog off.
No, that China just said, now that's a smart move. Go let your family or your friend turn you in and say, yeah, this is nigga. I don't know. Might be a white person. I don't know. Everybody knew. You know what I'm talking about? But they said, this, hey, turn them in so y'all can have bond money, man. Now, if you get caught without that, I'm telling you some slick game for 2021, man. China just told us, let somebody turn you in, you the one stole the dog, act like y'all know nothing about it. They done snuck out the house and told it. And then y'all break cheese later, man, you gonna have some good money on your book. Gonna have you a good lawyer. Otherwise, you gonna get lost. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, they gonna give you a murder for a dog, man.
Kidnap and attempted murder.
They done made it a felony by putting a 500,000 bounty on there. Now it's a felony. It was a misdemeanor. Oh man, I'm telling you, y'all better work that out. Listen, my next guest is, I'm gonna say he's a friend because he's a Chicago, and I'm so glad that he stopped in. I told y'all getting out that town, it's too cold over there. Y'all keep telling me it keeps snowing, and when it ain't snowing, y'all say it's raining, and it ain't raining. Y'all say it's 90 degrees. That's why y'all got a cold, y'all got too much weather going on over there. But this is, my friend, you know what I mean? Just like there, man, this thing is explosive here, man. I'm talking about, y'all didn't know, but Chicago got a lot of talent there. And y'all gotta get out of town so you can express your talent. They ain't gonna let, they squeeze you in Chicago, and they hate in Chicago the different individuals. They don't reach out to other entertainers and try to make everything. Everybody wanna be the number one. But they don't know to be number one is to be in a group, man. Like I tell her, Bishop and friends, it ain't Bishop by itself. All this come together to make the light, the camera, all of that stuff, to make this show. You did?
Yes, sir.
So Ryan
Yes, sir.
is a director, and he's a writer, and also, I think he got some stuff out. So let's give it up, Bishop and friends, for Ryan in the house. Come on down. Chicago in the house. I'd be so glad, man, when somebody from home coming to town, man. You did. It'd be such a blessing, man, you know. So Ryan, you sit next to Deb and you heard her story with some of the autism, but she did the second front of my life story.
Yes, sir.
She got about, well, how many books is your credit there? Five? And then, you know, she had told me to show you how God brings things together now. She had sent him a copy of her work, how long ago?
A few months ago.
You see what I mean?
Right.
Hadn't heard from him, none of that. You know what I mean?
Come on the show.
You see, we have to acknowledge and see this, because they say when praises goes up, what happens?
Blessings come down.
So we got to acknowledge this, man. This is not by coincidence, man. This has really been from the beginning of earth. This has been set aside that they might meet like this. It wasn't meant for them to meet through the mail.
Right.
Nothing like on hand.
It was her God expectancy was bigger than what she imagined. Like what she imagined, it was bigger than, you know.
Well, see, God do things like that to show himself.
Right.
You know what I mean? He make things where you think it's impossible, then it jump to show himself in the land of the living. So, Ryan, and I see you got in your name, All Real.
It's real.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, is that a really millionaire? Did you put that there and install it because you felt your realness and, you know, this Ryan Israel Porter from Chicago.
You know, I grew up in the shop, just like everybody else, struggling, trying to figure out who you is as a young man, trying to find out who I want to be as a person in the world.
What part of Chi?
I'm from the west side of Chicago,
That's right.
Like where?
like Smith Road, Chicago
Oh,
Avenue.
yeah.
Southside.
You in my neighborhood, there or south side?
Southside.
South side.
Southside.
Oh, I forgot.
Why?
Oh, you know about my
It's Southside, right? Speak up. Southside.
You know, I would go to Max Records every Friday, pick up 3 for $5.
Say it again.
Oh, yeah?
Me, my mom, and my brother, we pick up 3 for $5. She'd get a romantic comedy, I'd get a horror movie, brother get a kung fu movie. And it's weird because
Oh, okay.
now all of my movies that I write are like a blend of all 3 of those things. Some kind of murder mystery or horror movie or action based on those movies that I would bring every Friday.
You got some movies to your credit.
I have a few movies. I did a pilot, I did some shorts, I did a TV show called Spill It. It was like a web show, similar to yours. It didn't go #1 like your show did, but
Okay.
we did a good thing. You know, we got 2 seasons in.
Well, you made some noise.
I made some noise.
Okay.
I made some noise.
So, what inspired you to start writing?
I've always been a writer.
Well, how you know you always been a writer? What you did? You wrote something?
I wrote something in like 5th grade.
Huh?
I wrote a story in 5th grade, and
Really?
I knew right away this is what I wanted to do. But I
Since
never
5th grade?
in 5th grade.
Hey,
I wrote a little short story, and it did well, and everybody liked it, and I just started writing. It was just something I felt good at. But I never really called myself a filmmaker until I saw like Spike Lee movie. And I saw You Right Thing, and I'm like, wait a minute, this brother up here writing and directing and starring, and he's swagging, he talking Jordans, he talking about basketball, he talking about all the things that I grew up, and I had never seen that in the movie until I saw it in the Spike Lee movie, and I was like, that's it. That's what I want to do.
And it seemed like it was easy to do because he was a black guy and you seen stuff in the hood where you was that it could be done like that.
It wasn't easy, but
I mean, the thought, you know, like, if I see that Spike here, black guy,
Like something you could
basketball,
relate to.
yeah, you can relate to,
absolutely.
yeah.
I mean,
you
I
know,
never even thought about it.
Yeah.
You know, I hadn't been doing it. Like, I would watch movies that I love, and then I would spend weeks thinking about sequels. This was before I even knew I wanted to be a writer. I just was like, oh, it'd be cool, it'd be a good idea if they did this, and they brought in this actor to do that. This was just like 10, 12 years old, and I'm thinking about this. And then,
Wow.
like,
That's a lot on a youngster mind.
Yeah, them
You
aspirations.
know, and I'm gonna get to you on that when I get over there because it, you know, to be a writer, it's something, it's, you know what I mean? Cause I hate signing a lot of paper. I be wanting somebody else to do all that, but I hate all that, filling all that stuff out, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
to
yeah.
be a writer, you might have to write 400-500 pages sometime in life.
you gotta be able to focus and be able to kind of zone out and commit. Like, I can work on a feature film and I can be working on that thing for 1-2 years just to write the first draft.
Period.
Then I might need to spend another 5 years just trying to get it
Period.
so that somebody will buy it.
Period.
It's like, they like kids.
Real commitment.
You know what I mean? You gotta raise them and you constantly trying to get them ready for that next person who's interested. You know what I mean? Like a father getting his daughter ready for marriage. That was on my projects, you know, and that's part of the crew. That's the industry from every level. Whether you Bruce Willis or you some guy who just graduated from college, you got to take a project and you got to work with that project for the next 5 to 10 years before it finally gets ready for the public. Right? Before anyone even see a trailer, that's just part of the process.
Wow, so you have to be, patient, consistent,
Dedicated.
patient and dedicated.
Consistent to
And
consistent,
then-
persistent.
You sound like a player.
Yeah, and then you know
Same
what?
commitment.
And
Got
then
to
you
commit
can
to
go all them years and it still don't have to go nowhere.
And that's real.
And it happens.
It happens a lot.
It happens a lot.
It happens a lot. A lot of stuff just put on the shelf and never go
And you
anywhere.
gotta be flexible, that's the other thing. Because it's a business, you know, it's called film business, movie business, you know what I mean? And the business part meaning you need money to make it happen. And the people who got the money gonna wanna put their stamp on.
Yeah.
So, how long you been out here in California?
My wife and I moved out here about 15 years ago.
Oh, wow. You been out here 15 years?
15 years.
You came for business.
Wow, wow. No, I'm just amazed we just connected
Yeah.
really. But, you know,
Again, 15
Nah,
years,
you
you
can't.
done
what,
been.
what, what,
See, he came
what,
for business a different man.
let Gino know his light went out. What,
He came to the town to work.
what,
Yeah.
what drove you to,
California.
no, to touch bases with me?
You know,
We can have to come to, you know.
I'm off on today.
well, you know what? I grew up on the west side. My uncle and my pops hung out in the same place as you did. I'm sure y'all bumped that road plenty of times before. I remember my uncle told me a story about you when I was 16. About, you know, you doing hustler things. And,
What kind of thing? These people know all about
okay,
that.
and just a story about you and Liberace.
Just say what
Where somehow Liberace got repossessed from some diamonds that he owned. And I always thought about that. Man, that would be a good idea, you know, like a Black Oceans of Evan. And it's been on my
I like your
mind.
mind.
It's been on my mind for years, and I just, you know, the last year, just some reason, I just thought about it. I'm like, I should do this. Up. And then I got busy with a whole bunch of other stuff, and then the pandemic happened, and then the world shut down. It was a good thing it shut down because it gave me to finish the project. And now I'm like, all right, I'm ready to take on the project. Interested to have a conversation, break some bread.
And I remember you telling me, you know, it's part of the history in the game where a chick knocked a piece of jewelry from, Liberace, you know, and that was some of the legendary history of part of the game. And he was told that by your uncle or somebody, you know what I mean? And it stuck in his head, and as he become a writer,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You know, the thought continued to grow, you know what I mean? And it's amazing. You seeing, you know, it's a million other things, but you seeing you can take that and do something with that.
Yes,
That's a cold story.
I
Build
mean,
around
just
that,
that
build
piece.
around that. Build
I mean,
around
it took, like I said, I've been in LA for like 15 years, and it took me a few years just to get my voice, just to kind of figure out what kind of stories I want to tell. And I did a lot of stuff that was more of trying to make it commercial so that I could sell it, and that didn't really work for me. So now I'm starting to get back to, all right, what's the things that I want to see, you know, that I would, things that I would get excited for. And those are the type of stories that I get excited for. It's like these street crimes that take place years ago, like period piece.
Yeah, because you know, one thing about it is, they'll never get a chance to witness to see that unless somebody lay it on the screen. That time is a past time and really gone, you know. It's so amazing, you know what I mean? And you yourself, Slim, you're a writer.
Right.
Tell us something about your book, because see, even what he's writing about, it takes some guts, you know, to write that, and you have to have some kind of insight. And that's what I like about him, because he looked for the realness. He had did his book, but he was looking for the realness, the insight on that. Come on, talk to us, Slim, about
Oh,
that
yeah,
book. Man.
absolutely, yeah. My name is Slim Diamond for the record. I'm originally from Alabama, Selma, Alabama, you did, but I came out here like when I was 14 years old, and I've been back and forth, you know, all over the country. But yeah, I wrote that Pimpioneer like all my life, you know. I had been into vernacular. You know, ever since I was a kid, I had been absorbing and soaking up different verbiage and street diction from players and pimps that I saw, because that was the people I was attracted to. You know, I mean, I did other things like other kids did, you know what I mean? But, you know, these words I retained in my head like an elephant, you know, after I soaked them up, and I kept them there, you know. And like I said, I got slang and vernacular from the East Coast, West Coast, pimp diction, penitentiary lingo, because like I did like 10 years and 4 months collectively in penitentiary.
I was impressed to hear that. I'd have never known that you did 10 years in prison.
Yeah.
I'd never known that.
And
is this where you got that idea from, or what?
no, I had got the idea originally from the OG Iceberg Slim, may he rest in peace. You know, the first book he wrote, put a glossary in the back to help us with the
Understand.
you did, because he was so hip, he was so hip, you did that lingo, you did, and so he put approximately 124 words in his first book, and thereafter each subsequent book that he wrote, he would put glossary in there. So I got the idea from him. But in the 90s, I started to try to compile a book of nothing but street slang, you know, and call it the Pimp Snare. You know what I mean? And all the while I was on the streets, I could never get this done because, like Don said, man, it's hard to make time. You dig? I'm doing my thing. I'm in the game. I'm playing. Gotta get money. Gotta eat. You dig? And I ain't got time to write, even though the thought was there. You dig? But finally, when I got sat down, like I said, I believe everything happened for a reason. Nothing's arbitrary in life. You dig? And once I got sat down in the penitentiary again, at the last time, you dig, I compiled all these words. It took me about 6 months, and it was hell to put this Pimp Snare together and just keeping up with the manuscript because the hacks, the guards, the COs would come in and ransack the cells. You dig? They would do shakedowns randomly. You don't know when.
Yeah.
And they would march us out naked, or just in our boxes. You dig? Your hand like you march us out of the cell, and they would go in and just tear your shit up. Your personal pictures, your family, your kids, your mail, your legal, sling that shit all over the floor. Then the trustees come in and sweep that, your food, everything. And just trying to hold on to that manuscript for 6 months. But anyway, I held it. And I finally got out on that violation after a year. But when I first got out, I ran into you know, at the shell station, I told you about this thing. And like I said, I had a manuscript, but it wasn't a book. A lot of people say I got a
Well,
book.
what led you to me? How did you find me anyway?
I had been looking for you. You know, like I had, you know, like I had known about you all my life, you know what I mean, you know, and stuff like that. But when I finally ran into you, after I had got out the pen the last time, was on at the shell station on Pico, and I made a U-turn right there. I had to get your blessings, man, to bless this book you did. Because then also at that time, I had a concept. I had wrote a poem called the 10 Pimp Commandments. You did, and me and another cat wanted to make this into a documentary. Because while I was in the pen, I was seeing all this stuff before me. You did all the players done, you know.
Yeah, vision.
You seeing you in all these magazines. I'm like, damn, I can't wait to get out. I want to do some stuff like that, you know, by the time, you know. But anyway, I couldn't do the film without Dunn. So that's one of the main things that, main reason I had to. How could you do a film called The 10 Pimp Commandments and not have Bishop John Magic Wand in it? You know what I mean? So I had to have you for that, and you came through like a chick. Now we shot this film back in 2009. Marv, you was there, and at Bishop's house in 2009. And it's an independent, low budget film, but I did it out of my pocket. You dig? And I
You
got
believed in what you
believed in it. You dig? And I got all this kind of wrote it. It was 10 Pimp Commandments. It started off as a poem, and it wasn't like written in stone, but it